It's Bharath Subramaniyam taking on Vincent Keymer. As you can see, it's a very complicated position with Bharath having two of his knights nicely positioned. There's also a threat of knight to a7 which forks both the rooks, so Vincent has to take care of that. He has only 17 seconds on the clock. Remember, there's a 10-second increment, so the players can take a bit of time, but he goes knight e5. What a nice move by Vincent. His point is, if you go knight a7, he may want to go knight g4 or even bishop g5, just distracting the queen and then picking this up. So I don't think Bharath will go for knight a7. It's still a possibility. He can play it, but there are other moves as well. He goes b3, and notice how two black rooks are lined up on the c file. So what does Vincent do here now? He needs to move the queen away from e3. It is very well positioned. He goes knight g4 and attacks the queen. Now Bharath must move it. He quickly plays queen f4, increasing the pressure on the d6 pawn. But actually the pawn is not really hanging because the c1 rook can be taken twice. So he goes knight e5. That's a mistake. He should have gone back to f6 because knight e5, there is a tactic now. This d6 pawn can be taken twice and the e5 knight would hang. Let's see if Bharath manages to find it. He's down to 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4. He takes it. What a move by Bharath. Fantastic chess there. He takes on d6, and now Vincent is hoping for some tactics to work here, but actually there is nothing. He's lost a pawn. Bishop takes, and after knight takes d6, the point is, if you take on d6, e5 is hanging, and if you take on c1 twice, then at the end of it, the knight on d6 is very safe. So he takes here the knight, but now Bharath first chops off the rook on c8. And now he must take back with the queen, and queen takes e5 play. Now it's a double attack, attacking the rook and the pawn. So queen c7 seems like a natural, normal move, defending both. But Vincent is down on time. He's pawn down. He plays another mistake. He goes rook d7. Well, his point is he's giving up this a5 pawn, but he wants to enter with queen c2, attack the rook. What will Bharath play? He takes the pawn. He's brave. He's calculated it. Queen takes a5, and I think Vincent's idea must be executed, which is to enter down on c2. But once you come to c2, how does it continue? Bishop f3. What a move. The point being that if you take here, there's queen d8, checkmate. So that's a very, very dangerous move there, and he cannot win a pawn. So he goes queen c3 now, defending the b4 pawn. But just like that, you are 2 pawns down. But will Bharath be able to convert this? After all, his opponent is the world-class GM, Vincent Keymer. And you have to be careful against such opponents. They create a lot of counterplay. They'll create a lot of traps and chances. Queen b5 played. Queen comes back to d4. And now the rook is defended on d7. Bharath can play his queen to c4, trying to trade off the pieces. That could be an idea, but he goes rook c1. This is a nice move, because if the d3 pawn was taken, there would be back rank issues. So he plays h6. Bishop comes back, and now 2 pawns up. Black has to decide from where is the counterplay flowing. Vincent now needs to create something. Maybe f5 looks like a plan, although it's very weakening, but it is definitely opening up this bishop. So for example, f5, if you take, it opens up that bishop, and he has played f5. It's like do or die move here for Vincent Keymer, and Bharath can take the pawn, but he goes rook c4, which is even stronger. He attacks the queen. The queen has to move and goes to a1. You can come up, but he plays bishop f1 and blocks. One of the ideas here can be to take the pawn on d3, because the bishop is pinned, and he does it. He takes the pawn, but actually this bishop is hanging on b7, and Bharath takes it. Rook d1. Vincent is like, now I'm going to take your bishop and attack your king. How are you going to save that, Bharath? Well, the answer to this is rook c8 check, king at 7, and now just bring your queen back and defend this already. He goes queen here, defends it, pawn takes pawn, and Vincent Keymer is now a piece down. He's completely losing, and this seems very, very easy win for Bharath. He plays his king up to g2. Now Vincent thinking about his next plan. Well, he can already resign the game. He goes queen f6, trying to create this idea of queen f3 check. But Bharath is very quick to bring his queen back. Rook d4, and now you can actually trade with rook c4. I think that's a very strong move. Yes, that's what Bharath does. And now the e4 pawn is hanging, so queen comes back. Rook takes rook, queen takes rook. He brings queen c4. Of course, trading queens would be equal to resignation, so he keeps the queens. And Bharath takes another pawn. Pawn comes to e3, check, king goes back. And now Bharath, just being sure, look at the time on the clock. Both players have moved from just 10 seconds to a minute on the clock. Takes the pawn, queen takes, there's a check, and the queens are traded. And Vincent resigns. With this, 16-year-old Bharath Subramaniyam starts off his World Rapid Championship campaign with a win. What a beautiful win against Vincent, and just goes to show what a sharp player Bharath is.